All right, we want to ask our listeners. I finally come up with kind of who Jason reminds me of. Wally Cleaver. Leave it to Beaver. Your thoughts on the Ag Up Equipment text line, 601-885-3776. 885-3776. We've got, are these Mardi Gras transfer portal flips, Jason? Is that it? Since a school has to put a time or a theme on it? Are these Mardi Gras transfer portal flips?
I guess so. I mean, the way that they're turning out, it's pretty crazy that you can commit to one school, stay for a little bit, or not even stay, and then just say, never mind. Get back in the portal. What is it, 30 days?
It's until you attend the school, really. I'm not even sure at this point there's any rules, but you can draw what you want. I think that's what they're doing, making it up, damn near as they go. We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. How close are we to Mardi Gras? Is it this week or next?
It's February 13th. So that's Fat Tuesday. Valentine's Day is on a Wednesday this year.
Okay. Yeah, but they start way before then.
Yeah,
as far as floats and rides and parades.
Oh, right. No, we're already in. We've been in Mardi Gras season since the Epiphany on January 6th.
Okay.
So that's when they
When do they start partying? In the next week or so?
It's New Orleans. That they've been partying. They partied on Sunday. They partied yesterday morning.
Yeah, a snow day in New Orleans or whatever you want to call it, an ice day, a cold day. Because I know people were laughing at us. I mean, Dan Patrick and them did their show yesterday, and they had like 47 feet of snow. Jeez. And you bailed on, we didn't have snow. Would you say we had snow?
What is this whole bailed?
Or was it just ice?
We had some snow. I mean, we had some snow, sleet. Frozen rain is what got it. That's what created that whole layer.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
On the roads. Yeah, meteorologist Jason coming in.
That's what created
hot.
that whole layer.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
We had like steam coming off the lake. It was crazy.
What?
Yeah. It was insane.
Cold and humid, man. Gotta love it.
Yeah. Not really.
Yeah.
I'm ready for it to be 60.
Okay.
I like that.
More of an April guy?
Somewhere between 60 and 80. And at night it can drop to 50.
Oh, so you're fine with a little cold at night.
Yeah. 50 to 80. Is that cool?
I'm still killing it in casserole and soup weather. I don't know if I'm ready to go into spring weather just yet.
What kind of casserole did you do last night?
Oh, well, last night I did a loaded potato soup. So
was it real creamy?
Oh, come on, of course.
Nice.
And then I threw in some local
Sounds
sausage
amazing.
in there. Yeah, and then cut up some potatoes.
Oh, you cut up more potatoes for your potato soup?
Yeah, no doubt.
Wow.
Got to.
Okay. That's great.
I'm telling you, I'm getting my calories in while I can.
Yeah. Hey, War Eagle Rich said, Jason reminds me of Ron from Jersey Shore. Okay. We'll have to discuss that too. Your SEC Insider Hit this morning is brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Mississippi. It's good to be blue, the official healthcare provider of the Out of Bounds Show. And the show is also presented by the Purple Mattress with the Purple Grid. The Purple Mattress with the Purple Grid from any Muskelly sleep store. Groundbreaking, no-pressure gel technology is the star of every Purple mattress. I slept on one last night.
Is it like sleeping on a bed of feathers or what?
It's fabulous. It is.
I might need to get into one.
Well, I'm telling you, when they told me about it, I was like, all right, can it be this cool or this awesome? And it is. So we're powered by the Muskelly Furniture and any of the Muskelly sleep stores and the Purple Mattress. By the way, Jason, if you need to upgrade your bar stools or recliners or sectional sofas for the NFL playoffs or March Madness, Muskelly Furniture in Pearl. Boom. There it is. All right, Michael S. says, are you the real portal king if you can't retain your portal players long enough to shake their hands? Jason, you want to comment on that?
I think it's part of the revolving door that is the transfer portal now.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I always, as an Ole Miss fan, I always know that if it's too good, if it sounds too good to be true, it is. There's always going to be another shoe dropping. And so whenever there's something, say, the number one transfer portal class, somebody's got to leave. This is too good.
Did Quinshawn Judkins go to Ohio State because he knew that Ross Bjork was going?
I love the way you think, and I think he was following Ross Bjork.
Gotcha.
It's exact because he knows that Ross Bjork is known for his excellence and success.
Yeah. Yeah. Ross Bjork and Joe Biden. Nobody fails forward better. It's amazing. We're ESPN 105.9 The Zone. We are the Out of Bounds Show. I'm your host, Bo Bounds. We've got a couple of basketball games here tonight. Chris Beard and Chris Jans. Beard's been winning. They beat Vanderbilt on Saturday.
Yeah.
Mississippi State lost to Alabama. I was there. I'm concerned, not that I don't think that they could have a good season, but with Murphy leaving the team and the Marshall kid not working out, yeah, I think there's reason for concern. Panic? No. I'm not saying it's time to panic. You still have Hub. You still have Tolu. And then you have some nice pieces. But, Murphy was another really athletic guy that you needed to work. The Marshall kid. Now, I don't know about that because the first time I saw him in shoot around, I thought, what? He doesn't look like he can do this. And then little did we know he can't, or evidently he can't. I guess it's the physicality, the defense, and maybe he can't get his shot off. Usually, it doesn't matter if you're at a mid-major and can ball, you can ball. But I think he averaged 22. I mean, Chris Beard and Chris Jans battled for him, and some other teams, and so you're you just don't have any length on the perimeter. Josh Hubbard's phenomenal, and he doesn't have to have length. He's just a dude. But Shaq and Davis, I think it could be tough to overcome. And the three, I've watched all three of your games, obviously, to date, and non-conference games. But the one thing that I'm, when I look at it, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Alabama have better basketball players, 6'5" to 6'8", that can roam around on the perimeter and go to the rim. You don't really have anybody that can attack the rim. I mean, every now and then, DJ Jeffries, if it's perfect. Sean Jones, if it's perfect. Tolu, I mean, he can, but he's more of a guy that, needs the ball in a spot and then make a move. And by the way, I thought he held it, was trying to do weight. I mean, dude, and this kid's amazing. And I'm sure he and Jans have talked about it, but you got to get the ball down low and you got to make a move and go. You can't sit down there with it for it felt like Patrick Ewing, 1995 New York Knicks. You don't remember this, but you could take a nap when Ewing got the ball in the post. It took forever.
Just pivots back up. Pivots.
He'd hold it, stand there. I mean, it was ball. You know how they talked about how Carmelo Anthony was a ball stopper?
Yeah.
When it went to him, it was over. The offense was done. Like Marshall Henderson recognized, he was like, I was a ball stopper because once you got it to me, I'm shooting. Yeah. Doesn't matter where I am, right? I can be in the concession stand grabbing a Diet Coke and a hot dog. Whew, I'm letting it fly.
Love it.
But you can't be a ball stopper. I don't care if you're in the post or the perimeter, Jason. And so I think they got to correct that. I don't expect them to win tonight, but they need to come back and put the hammer on Vanderbilt Saturday. Jason, I don't know. I don't even remember the last time they've won at the Hump. I'll text Matt in the during the break and ask him. I would think he's got it, but I think about that, and Rupp Arena has been renovated. Cal made it like an NBA arena, just like Mississippi State did the Hump and Ole Miss did the Pavilion. I call it very NBA like with concessions and more space and lighting, and you can move around better and so on. Just need the NBA seats. But as I think about it, I'm kind of jealous this morning, even though I'm sure it's cold up there. I'd love to be at the Marriott downtown in Lexington, or had been there last night, gone to Tony's.
Okay.
Had a terrific meal, right? Some Wilderness Trail bourbon, some steak, couple of buddies, whatever. Roam around Lexington today, downtown, and then go to Rupp tonight for the game. I should have done that. I should have planned accordingly, and I didn't. I'm going in May. I think we're going to pick out another. We were not going to do a Russell's Reserve barrel pick this year. We're going to do a Wilderness Trail barrel pick like Nathan has right now at Briarwood Wine and Spirits.
How many cases did you say you got of that? Like 3?
It was a lot.
Like 3 cases?
Oh, the Wilderness. Yeah, the Russell's,
Wilderness
it was more than that.
Woof.
I know, man. I've still got several cases back there. It's a beautiful thing. I've still got some from last year.
Wow.
I know.
Yeah, are you trying to make it like a 2 times a year in Lexington sort of thing? Because it seems like you like it a lot.
I love it. It's my favorite SEC town. Yeah. I mean, if you think about food, bourbon, and the distilleries in Keeneland, and the fact that it's a town city, it's got everything you want. And go to Frankendino's too, if you ever go. You got to go to Tony's first, but go to Frankendino's the next night. It's amazing. Lots of good-looking people there. Very, very swanky bar before you go out into the restaurant. And it's a horseshoe. It's it kind of reminds you, well, I wasn't around, but it reminds you of the 1920s, but really with just a little bit of a nouveau flair.
Ooh, so like, mahogany countertops and all that sort of thing?
It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Gorgeous restaurant. Great food.
Speaking of horseshoe.
You like Italian food?
Oh, do I like Italian food? What? If it's got more than 500 calories, I'm probably in.
Yeah.
I love pasta, anything Italian. I had some arancini last week when we went to Polito's in Jackson.
Oh, yeah?
That was delicious. Good lasagna.
You had lasagna?
Yeah, of course.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'll go for lasagna, but this lasagna was like a white sauce lasagna. Like mushroom lasagna.
Okay.
It was the bomb.
Back in the late 90s, early 2000s, Fertizzi's had a seafood lasagna.
Ooh.
With the white sauce that would make you run down the street without your clothes on. Seriously, Lake Harbor, you just hit the spillway. I mean, all right. Good morning. Welcome in. We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Hope you're doing well. Jason, who do we have at 8 o'clock?
At 8 o'clock, we have Jason Kern with Rebel Watch. He's going to tell us all about the transfer portal news, maybe the real reason for people leaving, staying, switching out. And then a good friend of mine, Sadiq Charles, 9:30.
Yeah.
NFL.
Didn't we have him on a few months ago?
We had him on in July.
Okay.
So it's
right before he went to training camp.
Exactly.
He went to MRA and LSU.
And St. Joe.
Well, where did he graduate from?
He graduated from MRA.
Thank you. All right. So, no, I'm kidding. So, so we'll have Sadiq at 9:30.
Yes.
Mike Detillier at 8:30. And Jason Kern, Ole Miss Insider at 8.
Yes.
On the Mardi Gras transfer portal.
Yeah. I guess that's what we're calling it now.
Okay. All right. Do I really want to go to the... No, I want to talk about this. National Customer Service Day. Worst customer service story as an employee.
Oh, I've got one.
Do you really?
No doubt. Yeah.
Okay.
So I was waiting tables at Local 463 in 2021, and the bone-in ribeye was $65 at the time.
Oh, okay.
This is before anything and everything had jumped prices.
Got it.
Still $65 for a steak. It's a good bit of money. So I always, whenever I tell the specials and I tell them what the wood grill bone-in is, I always say the price, because then when people order it, because the price isn't on the menu, then they lose their minds.
Right.
So this guy...
that's smart.
Yeah.
I mean, you do need to tell people, and if they're ordering, a real nice glass of bourbon, if it's, $58 for one glass, you need to let them know.
Right. Right. Especially if you suggest it. You're like, this is-
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're saying, hey, I want you to go here, you need to let them know. Go ahead.
Yeah. So that's what I did. I said the specials, and I said, the bone-in 18-ounce ribeye, that one's 65, and that's the wood grill special. And he was like, okay, I'll do that. And, so he orders the ribeye. He gets a salad too. Everything. He's loving it. Eats the whole thing. Come back with the check. He starts going ballistic. You didn't tell me this was $65. I'm using my work card. I can't spend $65 on this. Go get your general manager. This can't happen. And so he's sitting there yelling at me in the middle of the dining room. So
Are you serious?
yeah, and so
I know that guy.
yeah, those kind of people that they don't care. They don't care if they're in church.
Yeah.
They'll yell at you to your face.
Yeah.
And no second thoughts. So he's yelling at me. I go grab my general manager. She goes out, starts talking to him. She's not giving him what he wants. And he's like, no, whatever. Where's the owner? Bring the owner out here. And Derek Emerson, I'm not sure how much you know about him. He's a no-nonsense kind of guy.
I'm aware.
So,
you have to be.
Oh, well,
to be
yeah.
as successful as he's been.
Yes.
And to run the operation that he runs every day, which is like 150 plus employees in the restaurant business.
Yeah.
That's not I mean, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so Derek goes out there. And when the guy asked for him, I was like, sir, you don't want that. You don't
want any of this.
Yeah, you don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
And so Derek goes out there, and the guy tries to start yelling at Derek, and then it's like it's at the front of the restaurant. This guy's making a fool of himself.
Oh, no.
Back and forth.
So he's like quadrupled down?
Yes. Like no shame at all. I'm sitting in the back. I'm like, oh, I really hope this guy at least just pays for his food. Derek comes back with the check and says, run this so-and-so's card, because the guy was just nonstop. And so whenever I run it, bring it back to him, guy just doesn't even sign it, just takes his card, leaves.
Wow.
Yeah.
No tip for you.
No,
No soup for you.
But Derek, great owner. I was like, hey, Derek, guess how much he tipped me joking around? And he was like, here you go, and just gave me a 20.
That's awesome.
Exactly. So, but sitting there getting screamed at by a customer in the middle of the dining room, that probably takes the cake.
That was a good story.
What about you? A bad customer service experience? Because I know you were a general manager at a restaurant. So
yeah. I need to think on that. Like, I was in the restaurant business for several years. Absolutely loved it. I told you about my bartending days. Crushed it.
Yeah.
Totally lied to get in. Didn't know what I was doing at any of the places for the first, little while. But I'll have to think of, I do remember one group ran up an $800 tab, which you could at one of the restaurants I referenced that I worked at, right? Pretty easily.
Yeah.
And didn't tip. And we had to have a conversation out in the parking lot.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's just because you have to go to, if everything's right, you have to go to bat for your staff, for your wait staff.
No doubt.
And you just have to, because they work too hard. It's not acceptable. And so I was young then, I was 23. So I had to have a very come to Jesus type conversation with people that were, I would think, 20 plus years older than me. They didn't like it.
Ooh.
But we had to kind of hash it out in the, I needed to get them out. The theory was to get them out of the restaurant first, where I was.
Yeah.
And then talk through it. You didn't want to do it. If you couldn't, y'all had a little bit different thing going on.
Right.
But if you could avoid it, you didn't want to do it at the table, and you didn't want to do it in the lobby bar area.
Oh, no doubt.
So we kind of did a walk out and then talk through it. So
man, yeah, I can't. $800.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I had somebody run a 350, and it was one of those like make your own menu sort of things. Like, I want this burger, but turkey patty, wheat bun. Let me get the bacon on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody was. It was a 6-top. Everybody was like that.
Yeah. Yeah. We want you to fly to South Dakota to get the lettuce and come back before we're hungry. Yeah. Here on the Ag Up Equipment text line, PT4 says, I worked as a line cook at the Veranda in college. We had a lady send a steak back because she wanted us to cut it up for her. That's like beyond high maintenance, right?
Yeah.
There's not even, I'd have to think of a word. Maybe our listeners would know on the text line 601-885-3776. 885-3776. I will say we catered. When I was the manager at this obviously fine dining restaurant, we catered on site at a house in Eastover. Some of the most bizarre things happened during that deal that I've ever witnessed in my life.
Was it like a wedding or was it?
No, it was just they were celebrating something. I don't remember what. Maybe a graduation or something. No, it wasn't a wedding. But I mean, it was, this was 1997 or 8. People weren't quite doing that yet here. Now it's almost a dime a dozen. But let me tell you, I didn't really know what I was getting into. And some of the women were frisky. So,
really?
Yeah. And a lot older than us, but it was what beautiful home. I grew up in that area, bebopping in and out of homes, growing up, but this house was magnificent. But I have to be kind of guarded on, kind of who they were. I don't want to, spill the beans too much. Now, customer service day. Wendy calls Comcast a verb. She a lot of times puts a word before it. Yeah. She's pretty good at it. She may not be big, but she's tiny. But when she gets pretty ticked off, it's pretty funny.
Filled with fury.
Somebody's tried to scam call her yesterday. She told me.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. They claimed that they were from Starkville, I don't know, sheriff's department, and like she had missed jury duty, and she's like, I'm not a Starkville resident, and he was like, well, I need your credit card or you're gonna da 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 da. And she was like, well, how about you give me your name and your number and your supervisor's name, and I'll call you back.
Yeah.
And he started back. He stayed on, I think, for a minute.
Really?
But started backtracking. Yeah. How about that?
If you're going to do it, be good.
Ready Teddy, during the Dixie National Rodeo, I had a 12 top of Cowboys order Crown and Mountain Dew. And they were not happy when I told them we didn't have Mountain Dew. That's pretty good. That's funny. Golly. I mean, Crown and Coke is bad enough. But Crown and Mountain Dew, how bad is that?
Yuck.
That is a big helping of terrible. Good Lord. Oh, hey, the Dixie National Rodeo is coming up. Have you been lately?
I've never been, actually.
You've never been to the rodeo?
No, never been.
All right, our listeners, I'd like for you to weigh in. Jason's never been to the rodeo. 601-885-3776 is the Ag Up Equipment text line. We've got Ole Miss insider Jason Kern with Rebel Watch coming up at 8. Mike Detillier at 8:30.